Hello everyone, my name is Gábor KITZINGER. I'm a VJ since 24 years. I haven't VJ'd in 24 hours. And I know it starts out as a AA meeting, but it's gonna be quite dry and technical later because we are talking about data visualization. So I started as a VJ for 24 years now, and we've been doing party visualizations and all kind of media presentations throughout these years with Glowing Bulbs, who I'm part of since 2006. And I started to get, because I'm going to start to talk about my work with Barabási Lab, which is a data science lab in Boston, part of the Northeastern University. And I met with László Barabási through an exhibition in Szentbékela organized by Viola Lukács, and I was doing this pseudo-holographic, interactive pseudo-holographic installation there, which tries to bring interactive animation into, like, present it as a sculpture, like a walk around. A kind of three-dimensional or four-dimensional thing. And László liked this idea and wanted to present it in a larger form with his data visualization inside. And we realized this in Ludwig Museum in 2022, or I think. And we were using this data, which was collected by another science lab, which is it was the structure or the system how COVID fake news was spreading through Twitter, and how it reached like 3 million people, and it was this is the base of the visualization, the end result basically. And the interesting thing was that there was 35,000 sharers, you know, who were sharing this information with this 3 million Twitter users. And they were getting the information from 12 mega spreaders. There were quite famous people, us who were knowingly spreading fake information to disorient or to shape other people's beliefs about this virus, you know, and how it spreads. So this is the before the final way this data was presented. And now I'm gonna jump into Touch Designer, you know, what we're gonna use during this workshop to show you, you know, the development of this data and the way it shaped and the way it was made, or how this data was transformed into some kind of visual presentation. So here you see Touch Designer. And this is you can see that it reacts on my mouse. And this was the earliest stage of it. So, because how these data are mapped, it's like basically through some forces based on geological data and stuff like this. They are trying to pull this data into physical space and then make the position of this individual particles, let's say, so which represents one person in Twitter, and they need very high computational like the very high-end machines to work with this big data. So sometimes you have to wait for days till the data is done. So we didn't have too many chances, you know, to do this. So the scientists had to be very specific and prepared, you know, when they started these calculations, you know, how this data will present. So this was the first stage. Here we didn't use like the 3 million, I'm gonna call these users particles. So we didn't use 3 million particles, we only used the data, you know, on the 35,000 big spreaders. And we used these CVS data sets, which you can see here. Like there have the coordinates of the position, the distance they have from each other, and so on and so on. The problem which I had with this system is that when you use CVS data, you're gonna have to use in Touch Designer these chops which runs on the CPU. All the time, you know, when you're using these big data visualizations, you want to stay on the GPU because this is how big data can be done, you know, through the NVIDIA cards, CUDA cores. So this was a quite slow and kind of like a dead-end approach to this. But it took time for me, you know, to realize that this will not stand with 3 million particles. That I have to find some other solution to do this. So here is another approach, still kind of similar, still with the CSV data, but I realized that there are some other ways to do this, or that maybe if we don't stick with the CVS, that we can somehow manage, you know, to get a better result. And then I found that I don't know, it was a new thing in Touch Designer, or I just didn't know it before, but CVS data can easily be transferred into XYZ data, which is kind of like the same table, you know, table of data. But this kind of data can be accessed in Touch Designer through a point cloud. And then when we are working with point clouds, which still contain, you know, all the data and all the channels, you know, which can be saved into a CVS data, point clouds, like if you look at this, you see here the RGB channels and the alpha channel, you know, of the point cloud. And here you can see, you know, the point cloud represented in space. But if you change this into image, oh, just a moment. Yeah, view as point, view as image. No, just a moment. So, or maybe in a newer Touch Designer, it's different, but I'm gonna show you somewhere else how it looks. Not in this one, but yeah, I'm sorry. So here, it's a smaller data set, but so basically all point data, I don't know if only in Touch Designer or there are other softwares where it can be used, but all these data can be accessed as basically as image. So here you see a small data set, like it's 79 pixels to 79 pixels, and every pixel, you know, represents a point in space. So in 79 to 79 pixels, you can put in 6,241 points in space. So you can imagine that, like, it's very strange that like 3 million particles can fit in around 1,500 pixels to 1,500 pixels. And this way, 3 million particles can be played on a video card as a picture this size, which is quite surprising, and it's quite easy on the load. So huge data can be played through point clouds into, let's say, virtual existence. And the end result can be quite surprising. And so we were doing this process for months to try to finalize the thing. And we tried many approaches, and we had many difficulties and failures and stuff like this. And finally, you know, I thought we are ready, and I had kind of like a representation like this image. And I was very happy because I did find it, you know, interesting visually. And then Laszlo said, there is something wrong. And this shouldn't look like this. I mean, he's a professional. He's like a pioneer of data visualization and data analyzing and everything. And me and some of my colleagues, you know, this scientists, you know, we were very disappointed that our work is kind of like not represented well enough, let's say so, or our data is not correct. And at the end, you know, of course he was right. And this structure is totally not the right way, you know, to do this kind of visualization. So, and that you can see that it's a bit messy, or, you know, like that you don't really see the connections. So this is where this, you know, he came up, you know, with a different approach, how to represent this. And if you look at this one, this is the final one. I don't know if maybe I can make it big screen. I don't remember, no. Well, yes. So this is how the end result looked like. And if, I don't know if I can get closer or not. Maybe in the program I can. Because here you can see that the structure is totally different. It forms like little clusters or little communities, which is, you know, the Twitter friends and stuff like this. Like they are the blue ones, you know, are the connections. And every connection, you know, is connecting these 3 million users. And the yellow little clusters are the spreaders. And there are 12 big spreaders which are not represented yet in this one. And all of this thing, you know, why we are doing this, why we are trying to stay on the video card and trying all this process, so this whole thing can be interactive. Because luckily Laszlo shared, you know, my enthusiasm with interactivity, which basically for me came from VJing, that I wanted to connect, you know, as close to music as possible. This is why I started visual programming, because for years we were using just small loops, you know, and we were like mixing them together. But through visual scripting or programming, you can really implement music and give the control of the animation to the musicians. And when you have interactive connection, I mean, like audio reactive connection, then interactive connection is just a step away. Then it's very easy and convenient to make this to interactive pieces. So this is what was presented in Ludwig in a similar like a pseudo-holographic installment as you saw before. And then this started to get represented in different ways. We were exhibiting it in Milano on an immersive space. And then we just finished one representation in Santa Fe, which I don't even have documentation yet because it's so new. But yeah, I have a little one. But this is the version of this in Unreal Engine, which is also like it's done in Unreal Engine, but all the controls are made in Touch Designer, because Touch Designer is just a much faster way to get live data or live interactivity with the media. So this is basically a video game where the control is in Touch Designer. Of course, the render quality is, let's say, different because Unreal Engine is a very, very high-end and very capable game engine. But with all the benefits of being a game engine and all the difficulties, like mapping it or doing it on more projection surfaces is much different or much more difficult than in Touch Designer. But this is a render piece. This is not live, but it's the same approach. It's getting an XYZ data also done in Unreal Engine. And what we did with this, this is a live recording of the same data set, but not for a sculpture, let's say so. It's more for big LED walls. So it's I'm gonna just jump in it a little bit, but you can see the density of the point cloud or the density of the data. Like it's just zooming out, for 5 minutes. And yeah, this exhibition was in the spring, so we try to make it a little bit more like blossoming or cherry blossoming. It can be accessed live, which is quite nice. And this is what we are going to do in the next couple of days to try to map the participants' brain waves into this kind of data sets when they can do the visualization themselves and figure out what to do with this data, hopefully with our help. Yes, and one other thing is maybe I show you just for the end is I'm using this leftover data, the earlier stages of the data as for VJing reasons, and yes, here it is. Just a moment. So I'm not this one. Sorry, I'm gonna close some of these because there are so many open. Okay, we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. Sorry that I didn't have like a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, but I don't know how to show this Touch Designer data out of slides. And of course, there are so many versions of Touch Designer on my machine that I need to find the correct one for this file. But sooner or later, it's going to start. Yeah, actually, this one, what I'm showing now was shown like 24 hours ago. This is what I was doing 24 hours ago, like my last VJing. Was shown in the Light Festival at Pécs. At the small Jami with Rosi Mako, who is a sound designer. And yeah, I was looking for this one. So here you can see that in Touch Designer you can make your own control surface. Right now it's reacting on my sound, you see? And here you can, if I give input to all this, you can see that these things appear. Of course, this is sound controlled during the performance, and I'm just using this to get into the structure. I don't know how much you can see, but yeah, it's running live on a quite nice frame rate, and of course I can make it slower if I turn on everything, but this is the way, I guess, to reach the end of the technical capacity. This is why we are here, to find the end of these systems, or the abilities of these systems. So yeah, this is just, you know, this is one approach, of course. There are so many, and hopefully we're gonna find some new ones during this week. So I'm very looking forward to it, and I'm very happy to give this lecture with these other amazing artists. So thank you very much, and hope to see all the participants later during this week. Thank you very much.